amigos, what's going on? I hope everything is well with you guys today. Thanks for dropping by. Today it's a dreary looking weekend, lots of overcast. It may rain, it may not, but hey, I'm not going to let that stop me from what I'm planning on doing today. But before I tell you about what we're doing today, let me give you an update on the whole building situation. I went ahead and took some measurements and wanted to get an idea of what 30 by 24 looked like. You know, I had to get a visual, you know, so let me show you what I've got so far to give you guys a visual. Here's the slab. It's a little cluttered right now, and until things get back to normal, I guess that's how it's going to be. But this is what I did. I took a tape measure and I went ahead and put this little marker right here and ran 24 feet that way to that marker right there, and I ran 30 feet from that way all the way to this marker over here, and my other marker fell down, which is over here. Anyway, that gives me an idea though, as far as where I'm standing, how big of a floor space I'm going to have. So what I plan on doing is I'm going to have my garage door obviously up in this area somewhere, maybe a window, have the garage door offset like the old garage door was, and maybe a window right beside it just for some natural light. But to get a perspective, I was wondering, is this really all that big, you know? So what I did, kind of imagined I'll come over here where my door is going to be, just like on the old one, and of course this tree is going to come out of the way. So I'm looking like from here, say the door is right here, and I'm seeing that the marker is way over there to the other side of the building in the corner. I was wondering, is that really all that much? So then I had to put it into perspective and walked over here to where the original door was and stand here and see the corner of the building where it used to be. Yeah, I say that's a lot more floor space. Now, it's going to be a slow process because I decided I wanted to do it the right way and get the permits and stuff like that, instead of just going ahead and building and not saying anything about it. One reason I wanted to go and do it the right way, because, well, you know, it's the legal thing to do. And two, at least I know it'll be done right when it's all said and done. Now, the initial plan, as I said on the last video, was to go another 6 feet out to make this slab 24 inches wide, because this is an 18 by 20, and another 10 feet out that way to make it 30 feet deep, so I will have a 24 by 30 building. I found out at the code office, and they told me that this slab here, because it was rated for the kind of building that it had on it, is probably not going to be able to withstand the kind of weight that a steel I-beam metal building will put upon it. It would have to be inspected to make sure, though. They didn't say it won't work, but they said they would have to be inspected to make sure it will work. Okay, so then I started asking questions about setbacks, you know, as far as how far do I have to be from the property line, because, you know, it's an old building and I don't know if the laws have changed or what. But anyway, so they sent me around the corner to the zoning department, and I told them where I want the building to be, and I asked, what is the setback, you know, how close can I be to the property line? They said you cannot be any closer than 15 feet from the property line. Now, I'm a good 273 feet from the road up there, but my neighbor's property line is that barbed wire fence right there. I'm 7 feet from the property line. So the people at the zoning office said I'm already in an encroachment. I said, well, how can that be, you know, being that I bought the property with this building already here? And they said, well, that's what you would call a legal non-compliance. So I asked the question, what in the world is that supposed to mean? How can you legally not comply and get away with it? And basically, this place was built before those laws were set in place. So they told me, on top of what the code office said about the rating, the concrete rating, the zoning department says I cannot even use this slab again because it's too close to the property line. They said that the only building that could ever exist on this slab is the one that fell down, so I can never rebuild on it again and get away with it. So then I thought about, maybe I'll just use it anyway. But you know what? I've already called attention to myself, so I might as well go ahead and do it the right way. So as I'm imagining, I came another 8 feet over, made my mark there, and out there is where the other side of the wall will be. So I know that was a mouthful. So what am I really going to do today? Well, what I'm going to do today is, well, if you guys remember my buddy Joe, he's getting married next week. So we're going to go and have fun with him while he's still a single guy, so to speak. And me and Kurt and Joe and I don't know who else, they said something about riding go-karts at 50 miles an hour. I don't know if that's legal or not, but I'm gonna go find out. So this ought to be an interesting adventure. So without any further ado, I'll see you guys there. But on a side note, I just got done watching ShadeTree Surgeon's latest video to come out before the next one of his videos, but he was just bashing on his FXR, how crusty it is, hence called the Crusty Glide, and how much of a POS it is, and yet he still loves riding that thing, which made me feel like getting out and riding this old Softail, even though it's all beat up, because I wasn't going to ride it around until I got the fender fixed, because it was kind of like, you know, going out with two black eyes and no sunglasses to hide it. So thank you, ShadeTree. You just inspired me to go ahead and ride this beat up Softail out in public for the whole world to see and not even give a crap. So good on you, man. Anyway, supposed to meet Kurt and Joe and whoever else at JR's Lounge, the little joint that Joe owns and runs. Let's see what happens when we get there. Okay, I don't know if they're here or not. 12:40, so I'm 20 minutes early. Yeah, I guess maybe I rode a little too fast down the highway. Oh well, I guess we'll sit and wait. Well, change of plans, guys. I wouldn't really call this a wasted trip, but it wasn't wasted. At least ShadeTree, thanks for giving me the inspiration of getting out on this Evo. But anyway, the weather is taking a turn for the worst. It looks like it's about to rain any moment. It's getting chillier and chillier, and it's starting to be a lot more like pneumonia weather. And that's kind of like the last thing I want to catch, especially nowadays with the whole you-know-what going around. But anyway, guys, to rehash what I was just talking about, that's one of the things I got to do to be in compliance with the code office and the zoning office to get that building done. So it's going to be a slow process, I'm pretty sure. Those guys, from what I understand, they don't get in a hurry for anybody, which is fine, because the vendor I'm going to use, who has the building and all that stuff, they're going to do the installation. Those guys are about 3.5 months out right now, which is fine, because the zoning office and the code office, it'll give them plenty of time to get done what they need to get done, and also gives me plenty of time to make all my mistakes, to get ready to get this done, and in order to make things right and all that kind of stuff. You guys know how that goes. I'll have to buy the building first, so I can get my plans. So that's one of the things I got to do. So the next order of business is go down to the vendor who has the building, do what I got to do to make it happen, and that'll be one step closer to getting a permit. Anyway, I was thinking about throwing away this footage, you know, thinking, well, that was a wasted trip, but it wasn't a wasted trip. But that's that. Until the next video, you guys keep your rubber side down, and you be good to yourselves. Thanks a lot.